Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
Don't adjust that radio dial. There is a mic here. The wrong one.
The wrong mic.
What's up, Paul Felder? How you doing?
I'm good, dude. I'm glad we got this in. Obviously, Michael is still in the UK, still visiting family. Dad wanted to go and meet up with him. So obviously we're going to let him go and do his thing. And listen, we've said we could do this for forever, that we are willing and able to step in and do this podcast with the three of us, me, you, and Brian. And especially at a time where Brian's like, I don't know if we could do this. We don't have too much MMA stuff going on anyway. So we got a lot of topics that we can cover and a lot of shit. But I mean, you put some good stuff in the notes. So let's just get into it. Where would you like to start today, Mike?
Look, I want to start. I saw a thing over the weekend on Twitter that said, yo, I don't know if you know this or not, but the UFC analytics guy used to be a BMF himself.
I know.
And it was just a video of you starching an opponent. And my reply to that was, still is. Guys out here, going on 90-minute bike rides. What are you, 6 weeks off of a hip surgery, something like that? So BMF,
not even
forever, Paul Felder.
Yeah, not even. I think it's just over a month now, and we are already doing. I did a 2-hour ride yesterday, did a 90-minute ride today. The power for the nerds out there that know anything about cycling is starting to come back a little bit. Feeling good, man. It's starting to loosen up. The physical therapy today, they're really starting to stretch it. I'm doing split squats. I'm doing pistol squats with a little bit of TRX support and things like that. Taking the peptides and things like that. That was the best thing that got recommended to me. I'm not in any testing pools, so I can get away with doing that. And doing the Wolverine pack or the BPC 157 and TB 500. And bro, shit works.
Yeah.
Shit works. I've been on it for like 3 weeks now and feeling strong from it. So highly recommend if you're coming off of a serious injury, something that you're really trying to recover from. Yeah, I did fall down the steps yesterday though. I was talking to you guys about that a little bit before we started. Still have my socks on. We were talking about carpeted steps, my basement steps leading into our finished basement where there is carpet. I must have just stepped a little bit towards the edge of the step. My legs went up. Now, granted, it's only like 5 steps, so I didn't go like tumbling down a big flight of steps. But you know how it is. Your reaction, you clench all your muscles, you try to support yourself. Well, when you have just had a hip replacement a month ago and your leg flies out to certain angles, yeah, I thought I did something bad, but I assessed everything.
Sitting.
But I'm good. I'm good. Right. I'm good even sitting here now. Yeah, so we're good. I got back on the bike today. So
you can do your job from a wheelchair if you needed to.
I still got a walker here. So,
dude, that is very funny when your leg slips out from under you. Your body's natural reaction is to turn into a toboggan. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm gonna now hit these steps at the most aerodynamic way possible and just slide to the bottom. So stupid.
Dude, I gotta say, those types of sports and like luge and bobsled and all that. I have always wanted to do that. That seems like just the most reckless sport in the world. Let's just charge with this little sled as fast as I can into this tube of ice with my head first and arms by my side behind me, just going like this and steering.
Oh yeah, the skeleton.
I think that's the craziest. At least bobsled, you're in there, you're with a group of guys, you're in like a little missile.
3 other idiots are gonna die with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going out with your boys. You know what I mean? You train together, you die together. It makes it a little easier, but you're going down on that ice luge by yourself, head first, madness.
Oh man! Speaking of bobsled and skeleton, actually, did you see who the hype man is for the 2026 United States bobsled and skeleton team?
No.
Dude, the most incredible hype man in the history of hype men, Flava Flav himself. Fresh off of him sponsoring and doing the hype man duties for the women's water polo team last year, he ingratiated himself to the United States Olympic Committee, I guess, and they said, dog, the Olympics needs more Flava Flav. how do we get you involved? He said, yo, I love Cool Runnings. Let me work with the bobsled skeleton team. So yeah, that is his official job at the 2026 Olympics. They're sending in Flava Flav to Milan to hype up the U.S. men's bobsled team.
That is absolutely incredible to see Flava Flav hyping up a sport like bobsled. Look at this. Look at the crew around them. They're like, they probably don't even know who freaking Flava Flav is, but they're like, sure, this guy's got energy.
These
like
are
it.
young Olympians. There's no way, like, they're too young even for Flavor of Love. You know, like Flavor of Love was his 15 years later. Like, oh, this is my comeback. Yeah. And now we're to the point where most Olympic athletes weren't conscious when they weren't forming memories while that show was on the air.
Yeah, when did that start? When did that show come out?
I want to say that was like 05, 06, somewhere in there. So it's like
crazy. It still feels ago. Like anything in the 2000s was like, oh, that was yesterday. It's like, no, 2005 was a long time ago at this point.
I haven't been in high school longer than I was in high school.
Yeah.
Dude, when's the last time you even processed that we had a bobsled team? You know what I mean? Like, no one cares about United States curling. Where's their hype man?
Now that's a sport that could use an elite hype man is something like curling. But I'll be honest, when the Winter Olympics are on and things like curling or bobsled or luge or any of that stuff is on, I'm watching it. I'm one of those people that's a fair weather fan for all those sports. But when the Olympics are on and that shit's actually on TV, I'm into it. I watch all that kind of stuff.
It's the best. I cannot wait.
Diving in the Summer Olympics, all that. I'll watch it all.
It's dropping in that perfect sweet spot too, like right after the Super Bowl. When there's nothing going on until March Madness, we get the Winter Olympics this year. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
But did you? So how was your New Year?
You guys do for New Year's?
Me, I did absolutely nothing. I actually fell asleep on the couch, and I let my 10-year-old daughter stay up. Wife and baby were in bed. They didn't even care. They didn't even try to stay up till midnight. So she had to wake me up when the ball was dropping. Then I went back to sleep, and she stayed up till like 2 a.m. watching all the ball drop, all the bands, all that kind of stuff playing. So I still haven't had a drink in over 6 weeks. Over 6 weeks now.
Yeah, it made it tough to do Christmas shopping for you because I do know how you like to relax and unwind. So, we were able to get booze pretty easily for Bisping, but it was a little harder to find someone who could deliver, the kind of things you're partaking in right now. It was I did reach out. I reached out to a few people about,
There's a really awesome little market / deli food place and bar all at the same time, 320 Market here in Delaware County in Swarthmore. And my buddy works there now as a bartender. And I used to go there when I was drinking beers. Obviously, I go there. They have an amazing beer selection. They have amazing food. So we'd stop in there. We get some beers, can make your own 6-pack. We get food. But now they sell all the THC drinks too.
Oh, wow.
So I go in there and now I can, like, if Christine wants a beer, I can pick out like a nice Belgian beer or something for her. And then I can go peruse all these. They have sodas, they have seltzers, all this kind of shit. So
that's incredible.
So I did have a couple of them on New Year's. And I'll tell you what, it's really helped me kind of get through not trying not to drink, especially while I'm recovering. I'm taking those peptides. I'm doing things. I just want to be as clean as I possibly can. Although, you know what, dude, the problem is when I'm not drinking, when I'm not doing anything kind of nefarious like that, I crave sugar at night like nobody's freaking business. The other night, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys, here's what I ate. Now, granted, I work out a ton, so I burn the calories, but it's still not good. I had a craving for those Hershey cookies and cream bars.
So a little like white with the blue foil wrapping.
Yes.
Okay.
The little cookies and the white chocolate. Well, it's not really white chocolate. They call it like white cream because
it's creme.
And white chocolate isn't really even chocolate anyway. So I ordered 2 of those, king size, ate them. Then I ordered the Dove ice cream chocolate bars with the caramel on the inside, like the ice cream bars.
Ordered meaning you DoorDash this?
Yeah. Or we have Go Puff. You guys have Go Puff? So I Go Puffed it. I was just
dude,
craving
that's
it.
stoner behavior.
Kids are in bed.
Candy?
I'm not drinking any beer, but I'm like, I want something sweet. I ate both those bars and 2 of the ice cream bars. And, we're still doing all right. We're lean, fellas.
All right.
We're lean, fellas.
There are people who are
Gotta
you do it, Harrington.
here, Mr. Felder.
Dude, I'm telling you, Harrington, that is why I'm upset. I love riding the bike because I like riding the bike and I like pushing myself. But I'll tell you what, I love the lifestyle, being able to just crush calories and not worry about it.
No, that does sound like the dream, honestly. Like if
you're talking about sparring 8 rounds recently.
This dude crushes calories without paying attention to it. Don't let him lie to you.
I do that while I'm gaining weight, not while I'm actively trying to win my 200 before 300 bet. Look, I had fun. I was down in Austin, Texas, eating good barbecue, having a lot of fun with some friends. You know who else was having a lot of fun with his friends? We've seen it before, and he's leaning into the meme at this point, I'm pretty sure. Michael Morales. He took part in the Ecuadorian tradition, dressing up like a widow for New Year's Eve. And I mean, he's a young man, a young unmarried man in Ecuador, which is, I guess, this is what they do down there.
Yeah, I know he gets a lot of attention for this, but you see all the other guys around him are all doing the same thing. It's a thing there. It's a weird thing, no doubt about it. And, but it's not even just that with Michael Morales. I get it that he does that. That's a tradition. They dress up like the widows. They go out, they party, they do all that. But just watching Michael Morales, there's clips of him in the gym doing all kind of wormy hip and just shaking his ass and twerking. He's a strange one, that guy.
Man, 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. Like,
I don't know, man. He's a sassy fella, but like, he doesn't care what you think about him, and he's knocking people unconscious. So
yeah, he sure is. The dude, and again, I don't care what his personal preferences are. He can fucking fight. There's no doubt about that.
What if that's the thing, though, where it's like you kind of queer bait a little bit to just try to get somebody to drop a certain 3-letter word at you, and then it's like, oh, well, now I have a green light to just beat the crap out of this guy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just
the green light comes with the job, no?
Yeah, you're allowed to do that regardless. That's true. And then there's rumors about him, right? Are there rumors that? No, it's.
Oh yeah, no, there were rumors about Morales Makhachev.
Is it gonna?
That's what I looked. I like
Prates and
so Prates and JDM was the conversation that they were having, because Prates, I know Prates posted on his story proposing that the two do, I think it was 327 in Miami. He put down for the date and then did the like telephone emoji and then UFC. And the streamer Neon saw it while he was on stream with Jack Della, showed it to him, and Jack said, "Roy, that sounds like a fun fight." He did say that he wants it to be a 5-rounder though, which I thought was interesting, because that, like, I don't think you're headlining UFC 327 with no titles between Jack Della and Prates, but I do agree, especially if you're Jack, you want that to be a 5-round fight all day.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they really want it, the way the UFC has been operating lately, a big fight like that, which has potential, getting next in line, or Jack getting close, or a Prates being next in line, they'll allow fights like that to be 5 rounds, even if it isn't the main event. So there's a chance that even though it doesn't headline, that they'll allow them to go 5 rounds, as long as it's co-main. Maybe if it's 2 title fights and then them, they'll still do a 5-round fight for sure. If it's a co-main welterweight bout, they'll throw that to be 5 rounds. And I like that. I like these big, important fights in divisions getting more opportunities to go 5 rounds. The guys get a little bit more money anyway, so I don't blame them for wanting to fight 5 rounds. You get extra money, and hopefully that's even more money moving into 2026 now with the new Paramount deal for these guys.
You get more money for fighting a 5-round co-main event or 5-round feature bout.
5 rounds, yeah. I mean, that's interesting, because I never thought of it like that. For 5 rounds, it's usually the main event. So whenever the 2 times I fought the main event, it's $25,000 at least extra just off the bat, because you're fighting 2 extra rounds. but those were main events. But I assume even if it's not the main event and you're asking for 5 rounds, you're probably going to also say, well, hey, how about giving me that bump in pay?
Yeah, my contract is for 3-round fights.
3-round fight.
That's what I signed thinking. So if I'm doing an extra 40% of the work.
Yeah. So I would think that would be for even when it's non-title fights or non-main events. And, again, this new big Paramount deal, there's all these rumors about the fighters getting big bumps in pay, especially guys that were champions now that they're not going to get the pay-per-view buys. Well, the bonuses I think should be sweeter. I think things like that, if you're fighting 5 rounds, bump that up and really just show these guys some love, especially with the amount of money that the UFC just made over that Paramount deal.
So I'm looking at UFC 327, which is the fight that he wanted to do it on. We just got an official announcement for it. Dominick Reyes versus Johnny Walker is going to be somewhere on that card. You have to assume with the run that Dominick Reyes is on that there is at least the consideration of a title shot, with a win over Walker. And then on the other side,
he just got knocked out.
Reyes did?
Yeah.
Who knocked out Dominick Reyes?
In
Carlos Ulberg?
He just got his ass whooped.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. So no title implications there. I completely forgot about the Carlos Ulberg fight. Because I thought, heading into that Ulberg fight, it was like, well, this is certainly a number 1 contender fight.
He was on a 3-fight finishing streak again. Came back from the dead pretty much to be doing that. And now, can he do it again? Can he come back? That's a winnable fight for him for sure against somebody like Johnny Walker.
For sure. I mean, that is the 2 guys with extreme, like a high upside as far as like the talent goes and extreme lows as far as like the fight IQ, mentality, and certainly, the being on the wrong side of cartoonish knockouts. So certainly going to be fireworks in that one.
Yeah, guaranteed. Somebody has to be going to sleep in that fight. I would lean towards Reyes being able to get it done, but again, that's another big knockout that he's coming off of. He had been knocked out a whole bunch leading into that 3-fight winning streak that he found himself on again. And man, Johnny Walker, he just like accidentally knocks guys out and accidentally hurts people. He's just so huge and athletic. He almost just doesn't even know how to handle his own body when he's in there fighting.
And I'm just wondering I'm just looking up to see what his record's been since his brother started going on his little run. Because I assume that's got to help, dude. Training every day with your brother. You're now both in the same league. Like, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd think he'd be working on his jiu-jitsu with him. You'd hope. But then he went out in that fight that he just won, Johnny Walker. I forget who he just beat.
He just spoiled Dana's new guy from China, right?
Zhang
yeah. Man, how disappointing is that?
In China too, right?
Yeah.
In China.
Yes, in Shanghai.
Yeah. That went to the B side that night.
Losing a top prospect at like 2:47 a.m. East Coast time it's got to be very frustrating for all the people at TKO.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, and Johnny came out, rolled for that terrible takedown. It looked like it was not going to go his way, and then just the leg kicks. He just smashed that leg, and that was the beginning of the end for him.
Another thing I'm seeing UFC 327 looks like this is unofficial, but a few places that, let's just say they've been right before. They put out junk, but they've also been right before, are saying it looks like Carlos Ulberg versus Jiri Prochazka for UFC 327. No word yet on a possible interim title, on a possible vacated title. Who knows with that? But certainly, I would say the 2 guys who have the best case right now for number 1 contender in the division fighting each other in a situation where who knows what's up with Pereira. I'm interested to see what happens there.
Yeah, I like that fight, man. Jiri, it's gonna mash them buttons. It's gonna mash them buttons and do some crazy shit. He's in the woods right now doing initial prep. He's doing the mental prep right now. He's running on the treadmill with the samurai sword. He's in the woods. He's in a dark room. He's meditating. But he did tell us that eventually he does get in the gym and actually do some mixed martial arts training, which is good to hear.
every now and again.
That, you got to go and hit some things and work with the coach, do some grappling every now and then. After you've been in the woods, of course, conquering your demons.
Well, I mean, I think it's he's got his priorities in order, right? Like, you're not going to go to the gym to fight your demons. He doesn't go to the woods to train for Carlos Ulberg, like he compartmentalizes, which I respect about him.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he would find a tree and kind of make him look something like Carlos Ulberg and
Like,
go out there,
carve a
and battle
tribal
that
tattoo
tree.
into the tree.
Yeah, fight the tree until the tree falls down or he dies trying, type of thing.
That's it. Like, he's got to punch a tree until he can break through it, and then he's ready to, like, all right, now we got to go.
Then he can go into the gym. Hopefully it's, with at least 6 weeks of time between leaving the forest and stepping into the octagon.
Is that, like, assuming that we are going to see Alex Pereira make the move up to heavyweight, which, he's been more than teasing. He's been openly asking to move up to heavyweight and fight John Jones at the White House for his next fight. Seems like there's absolutely no thought given to what's next for him at 205. Would you, like, do you think this would be the fight where you say, all right, like, we make the announcement, he's moving up to heavyweight, with or without a fight announcement for Pereira, and then, put the title on the line for this? Would you do an interim for this and then graduate it to an undisputed once he steps into the ring, or do you just make this the number one contender fight?
Man, I think, and I've talked about it before with guys wanting to go and chase other divisions or chase other belts, unless it's just a one-off where it was a super fight that he's going to be getting and no title on the line at heavyweight. Other than that, I think you got to make it the unified belt. I think you got to make it the actual title that these guys are fighting for. If that's his aspirations, if he wants to move to another division, even if it's for a non-title fight, if he wants to stay there and work his way towards Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall, I have no problem with it. I think he's earned that right to do that, but I think you gotta let go of the belt and give other guys an opportunity to go and chase championship, because it just muddies up to these divisions. Okay, we're going to wait around for him. It's an interim belt, and then the lightweight interim belts on the line. So here we are in 2026, and suddenly we're in this new beautiful deal with Paramount, and now there's no real undisputed champions. There's a lot of interim belts. So that's why I think they're trying to just get it in the heads of all these fighters. You want to move up? No problem. You want to change divisions? No issue. But you gotta relinquish that belt. Sure, you can go back and fight for it again, but you're going to be the challenger.
Right. And then, but I think the only downside at that point then is pay-per-view points, and those don't exist under the Paramount deal. No, so who cares?
Just got to be big fights. Yeah. Just got to be big fights.
Huh. All right. I wasn't even like, I literally have no rebuttal for the, just strip them camp now. You know, I mean, other than you never want to see like a quote unquote paper champion, being in it. Like I have seen that, certainly put a bit of a stink on a division, right? Like you kind of needed the Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald 2 fight to legitimize the 170-pound title after GSP walked away with a win. You know? So, but something like this, I think a Jiri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg,
that could be the fight. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can't name 2 guys at 205 who are more deserving to fight for that title. So I would give that my full
Jiri too, right? Is Carlos Ulberg can be in really exciting fights, or he can be very tactical and very patient. You don't get that option when you're fighting Jiri. You don't get the I'm going to be patient option. He's going to be up in your grill, throwing a flying knee without throwing. He's going to just jump in front of you and then land back down. And he finds a way into these fights. He is one of the most chaotic fighters on the entire roster. And I think that's why but especially on this show, absolutely love it. I'll tell you, I'm never picking against him again. Every time I seem to pick against Jiri, and I do love him, I'm a huge fan. But every time I think, this guy's going to be Khalil, for example. I thought he was going to be too clean. Thought he was going to be the better striker in there. And he was for a while.
He really was.
And then Jiri be Jiri. He just be Jiri.
It's almost like the Thanos meme. Like, dude, I'm inevitable. I'm going to out crazy you until you're the one who's asleep on this canvas.
Yeah. I'll gas you out. I will gas you out because I spent 8 weeks in the forest punching a tree. You're nothing.
So speaking of interim belts and guys moving around divisions, have you seen Paddy Pimblett and Tom Aspinall had one of their long in-depth conversations, and the all the websites are
Jumping
running
all
with
over it.
yeah. So I thought this was kind of interesting. Paddy Pimblett says that he sees the Ilia situation, like he thinks it could drag on for quite some time. And he says that he thinks whoever wins this fight between him and Justin will be elevated to the undisputed champ in record time.
Yeah. Just based on all the stuff that we're seeing about that situation, I am starting to really doubt how quickly we're going to see Ilia Topuria come back. And I'm starting to kind of agree with what Paddy is saying. And I mean, when's that fight? Later this month, right? In a
Yeah, I
couple
think
weeks?
I think it's the 23rd, right? So we're 2 weeks out.
So yeah, 2 weeks. Wow, I can't wait. I can't wait to have some
Please, dude.
UFC back to be watching.
Please give me fights back. Yeah, so it's not this weekend and not next weekend, but the following.
I am ready to go. And it's back-to-back numbered events.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Then the following week is Volk and Diego, right?
So he made a good point about that too. Paddy Pimblett did.
Yeah.
He said that he thinks if he is to be the one to get the win and it becomes the undisputed strap, he could see Volkanovski moving up. Well, we'll let Paddy tell it.
With featherweight, it all depends what happens with Volk and Lopez.
Well, Volk's going, isn't he? I think this is going to be Volk's last
I've
one.
heard people saying that Volk might retire after this fight because it's in Australia. But you don't know, do you? Well, people say that all the time and then they fight again.
I hope he does retire, and I'm the biggest Volk fan out there. I want him to retire.
Yeah.
If he wins this one, leave it.
I think if I win, though, and he wins and I get upgraded to undisputed champ like you did, it wouldn't surprise me if he thinks that's the perfect opportunity to win the lightweight belt.
We don't want two mates.
I don't know. I don't want to fight Volk, lad. I proper like Volk.
Yeah.
Man, we need subtitles for that conversation.
Yeah. Especially with Paddy. The Liverpool accent is gnarly, man.
Yeah, it's not fair to do it without Mike here. He could translate.
Yeah, he would know. He would know. And he'd give us his best impression of that particular dialect. Dude, Paddy could end up getting called out from Volk if he sees an opportunity to go and fight him, especially, again, if Ilia is going to be out for an extended period of time. And with what's going on with his ex-wife and the money that's in question and the children on the line, man, he really does need to focus on that, right? Like, I don't think anybody out there can blame him for wanting to step away and having to figure this situation out. He's in it right now. And there's some accusations and there's all kinds of BS that needs to get squared away. Because you can't be going through that and have your mind right for a fight at this level against these kind of guys. You have to be completely dialed in. And I did see him in the gym, though.
Oh yeah, January 1st.
It's a different gym too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because is the ex-wife in the house, that crazy house with the crazy
I don't know.
beautiful gym? It looked like a different gym.
It was not his home gym. No, he was he left his house to go to the gym. But I assume that's the thing where it's like, yeah, January 1st, anybody can go downstairs and lift weights. It's like it's the act of like, all right, this is the first day of the year I left my house to go to the gym.
I know, but would you leave your house? Would you leave that house with that beautiful gym?
This is what I'm saying. He has a much better gym than anywhere he could possibly go have a membership to.
If I had that gym, that's all the place I'd be training.
I just what I assume is it's New Year's, you're an actual celebrity who's like the guy hasn't fought in how many months, but he's given 17 different live podcasts in front of giant crowds where he's answering questions and talking shit about Islam. So it's like you are in a new hot location every couple of weeks. Of course you're going to be away for New Year's.
That I can see if he's away, and that's why he's training in some other gym. But if he was home, there's no way you'd be leaving that gym just to go get a bag workout in.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get some hate for this. Conor McGregor could never, dog. Like, that's the one thing, Ilia is not copying off the Conor McGregor track is like, whatever happened, whatever deal with the devil he signed with D 100 years ago, she has been by his side, regardless of whatever's popped up. His home life has always been stable.
Yeah, bro,
I think that's it.
She is a keeper. There's no doubt about it. She has rode with him through all the bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that deal or arrangement. He finally married her, though. It's official.
Did you
It's
see?
official. That might have been the final thing, right? Where all that they just went through, all these allegations and all that. She finally might have been like, Connor. All I'm asking is that we actually get really married.
Do you think that was part of it too? Was just like looking at she's looking at that situation, going like, "Yo, do you know how good you have it, motherfucker?"
He doesn't even understand, because if he did all that and they were married and she decided, and you would be justified to leave.
Oh yeah.
So she has really been his by his side that whole time.
The argument could be made that she was sticking around until she got married.
So
because who else are you going to find with $1 billion?
Yeah, true. Time will tell. We'll see, dude. We'll see what the prenup looks like. If she does 10 years to the day.
No, you put up with everything for $1 billion. Who gives a shit?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Go on. You're mad about your husband going to bang some little new broad. Get on your fucking yacht and go cry about it. Like, what are we talking about?
But Brian, she loves him.
That too.
Truly.
That too. Of course,
Truly.
that too. Sure.
Good woman, man.
I wouldn't argue that. I mean, she's been with him when, the whole fucking time for sure. But also, that's $1 billion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is lifting, a couple pounds with his wiener. So maybe that's why she's really sticking around.
True. Oh man, I'm so happy that.
Sorry to bring that back up.
I'm so happy that this man of God just opened his own online casino too. That makes me happy.
Nothing says Jesus like gambling,
right?
Yeah.
He's one of a kind.
If I remember my Bible correctly, Jesus was into that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
He's all about that.
Yeah.
Man,
and cheating on your wife. He was big on that. Well, actually, it wasn't his wife, so Connor technically did nothing wrong.
Well, I mean, other than having multiple children out of wedlock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's frowned upon.
Kind of not the church's. Not the church's.
I did that too, though. I did that.
Yeah. Obviously, dude. The idea of getting married without having a child first is so cringe to me. What are you doing? Who are you trying to
even know what life is? Do you even know?
You're getting the government involved in your girlfriend. That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Like unless there's medical things where it's there's certain rights that a spouse has that a girlfriend doesn't, or vice versa. Power of attorney, sure, but you got to have pretty crazy extenuating circumstances for me to say, oh yeah, great job. Putting yourself at risk of losing half of everything because you really like a girl.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Crazy. You have a kid, you're in each other's lives for the next 2 decades minimum anyway.
No matter what.
What a cynic you are.
Yeah.
I'm not a cynic. This is the conversation I had with a very good friend of mine, very funny comedian, Tim Butterly. Right before I went to propose to my wife, I asked him, I'm like, yo, just wondering, is marriage gay as hell? And he was like, oh yeah, it's the lamest thing ever, unless you have kids. And in that case, there's nothing you could be doing better with your life. And I was like, oh, okay. That kind of put me at ease. That makes all the sense in the world to me, but I couldn't imagine, dude. Could not imagine.
Yeah, and we still never have had an official ceremony. We just went to the courthouse basically, and we're just married.
So you got the paperwork done.
Really?
I mean, we're officially married, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we wanted to do it just because obviously we're going to be with each other. We love each other. We've got 3 children together now. It's what are we doing?
Right.
Let's make this. And we were planning to we were going to do a small thing. And I still, what I kind of still want to do, especially since I'm out in Vegas all the time, is I kind of want to pick when all the girls are just a slightly older and we can go out there or have somebody watch them, is get just a big group of friends and whoever family wise can make it out to Vegas and do a Elvis chapel. That's a fun thing to have, a little ceremony and then go have a party afterwards. Just a small group of people.
Vegas is a great place to do it. I very nearly we did a surprise wedding last year. So like we did the courthouse thing, and then we did a like a ceremony, but it was like we convinced everyone at my daughter's birthday party that we were doing a talent show in the backyard. They come outside and we're playing music and walking down the aisle in full dress up, right? It's like if you didn't care enough about my daughter to show up to her second birthday, you're not coming to my wedding.
There you go.
It is what it is. But
that's a good way to do it.
We very nearly, when we went to Dunn's River Falls in Jamaica, they have a little chapel right there. And let me tell you, that to me beats Vegas, and it might be a closer flight for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Exactly. Along those lines where they have something set up where you can do just a fun, we're already married, so we don't even really need it to be official. We just need the whole show of it, basically.
Well, you could, I was going to say you could do something like that,
renew our vow, like do it for the first time. It's not even renewing our vows because we haven't done vows or anything like that. So
that's so cool. That I think would be fun to tell though. If you tell people we're going on an excursion at Dunn's River Falls, we're going to go climb the falls, have everybody show up in like water shoes and moccasins, and then as you're walking up to the falls, you and your
wedding,
you and your wife come out in tux and gown, and
you can't make it up the climb or the route. You don't get to be a part of the wedding.
You don't belong. All right. I mean, I think I've been trying to avoid it up to this point because it is such a rough story. But yeah, Anthony Joshua, fresh off of getting one of the biggest paydays of his career for a relatively easy day at the office fighting Jake Paul. He goes down he's in Africa. He's celebrating. He's doing, X, Y, and Z with his teammates and got into a fatal car crash. He and the driver sustained minor injuries, but two of his training partners and the people are saying his two best friends in the world were killed in the incident.
Yeah. Just absolutely horrible, man. You go and you have that kind of moment in your life and make that kind of money. You think you're going to go on this tour of celebrating, and so this is them showing the diagram of how they died, but him and the driver didn't, right?
Yeah.
The video's around, but I'm not playing.
Yeah, we don't want to pull up the video, but I did.
Video of it. I'm not saying I want to see it.
Yes, there's video of like first responders showing up and getting Anthony Joshua out of the car, and then it's very graphic and not cool.
Oh man, yeah, no, yeah. I'm good on that.
So it looks like the driver was driving. What at least the charges brought against him is that he was driving dangerously and recklessly when he collided with a stationary truck. So the truck was, it was just parked. Who knows, distracted or what was going on. I also read something somewhere that said he was actually an unlicensed driver in the country that he was driving in. So
what are those guys doing? I don't know. I guess you're in another country. You don't necessarily know, right?
How do you know?
Speaking you about, yeah.
Dude, I go to New Orleans and I'm relying on Uber drivers to be, who they say they are. I don't think that infrastructure is built out like that, in Nigeria, I believe the incident happened in. So it's a thing where it's like, I assume you touch down and somebody's like, hey man, I'm going to be your driver. You just meet a guy at the hotel who volunteers, who's hyped to have the job. And you assume this guy's going to do a great job because this is probably the best payday he's ever going to get.
I would say that a guy who just made like $50-60 million probably hires somebody ahead of time and not just gets them at the airport. But you're right.
Can you though?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what the process is there. Like if you're going to a new city, Paul, like how are you getting around? You're a well-to-do man of means.
I'm biking, baby. I'm like, no. I wonder if the license thing sounds bad because obviously you hear the guy that got into a wreck that killed two people and he's unlicensed. But I wonder if Nigeria, if that's not even like people driving around, that you don't need to go and get licensed to be able to drive around there. But it sounds like that's not the case. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with Brian on that a little bit. Where if I'm somebody of Anthony Joshua's status and I'm in another country, I kind of want to know a little bit more about who's picking me up or who are we going with. Did he not know the guy at all either?
I do not. It's unclear. It's unclear from the reports that we're getting here.
Well, this is all very sad, but you know who has more details about this than us? My favorite guy ever.
Jake Paul win, he's gonna kill you 9 days later, or just kill your two best friends. But somebody's gonna die if you don't let him win.
Like, that's a tinfoil hat I can't even put on. Like, there's literally no reason for him to even think. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. Well, that's Bryce Mitchell being Bryce Mitchell, and I don't know how that brain works on him, but it goes to places that, Brian, me and you, Harrington, we all like to put on a tinfoil hat and dive into what's really going on. And what's here. But come on. Like, there's no way that you really think that if you're Bryce. Do you really think because he lost that he went and tried to have him and his friends killed in Africa?
Well, you know, Bryce Mitchell's one of those, like, Satanists run everything. Like, everything's a ritual kind of weird shit. I don't know, man.
And hey, I'm here for some of that.
Sure.
I'm certainly not here for that.
Josh
Jake
Emmett
Paul
broke him.
Went out and had Anthony Joshua put into a car wreck where he lost two of his closest friends. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
My question is, what happened to Tommy Fury after he beat Jake Paul?
He didn't. Yeah, well,
what happened, Bryce?
Yeah, and what has he been up to?
Just like because I remember there was a time we had Bryce on here and he was fighting on Saturday, but the world was ending on Sunday. And this is an actual quote he gave to, and rather than spend time with his family, he trained for a fight that Saturday
to make money that he's not going to need.
What's this for? Is you just trying to get one good one in to impress the Lord before you go to meet him?
I wonder if Bryce was trying to get the means to get to the other African guy who was building the arcs for the end of the world. That didn't happen. And then he went and bought a luxury car instead.
That's got to be it.
I too am starting a GoFundMe for arcs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a truly rough one, dude. Bro. I mean, and the problem is Bryce sees everything that everybody says about him. He gets angry with everybody who disagrees with him. He wants to debate everyone and everything. So, you know, right. We're sorry, man. But this one, Bryce, I'm sure the world's flat. Sure. The world ended 2 years ago when you said it was going to in a week, right? Like I'll buy all that. But what happened to Tommy Fury's family after he beat Jake Paul?
Tommy Fury. You know, funny story about Tommy Fury. He actually did he didn't finish it, but he acted like he did. He did a triathlon, I think, in the French Riviera. T100 is a professional race organization that also does it for like age groupers and amateurs. And he did it, and he had
get in the car.
No, he didn't do it in the car. But he made this big post, and it was all hype from the organization of him crossing the finish line and sprinting to the end. He never finished the bike course or the swim course, and then did the run and acted. And he's passing all these other people and running past everybody and like raising his hands when he crosses the finish line. And
did he start the swim?
He started everything and didn't complete the full distance of all the stuff or in time. I think he didn't make the cutoff for the swim, but then they allowed him onto the bike anyway to do it because I think a lot of people didn't. I think it was a rough swim, but then never completed the full bike course. Manages to get to the run portion and do the run, and and then acted like a superstar.
I mean, look, man, as a non-triathlete myself, if I could do just the run part, I would be so hyped. The fact that
guess what? Those exist, Harrington. They're called run races.
Yeah, but
you can do that. You can do that.
but doing one of those after I've been for an exhausting swim and I rode a bike, it's like, oh, I get that you take it for granted because you actually do the real thing and are a real athlete. Tommy Fury pretends to be an athlete on TV sometimes, and he did the run part. God bless him.
Yeah, he did some of the bike.
How do you
some of the bike?
How do you get to do like you shouldn't be able to skip parts?
No, that's kind of the whole point of
that's what I'm saying. He must have gotten in a car at some point.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, somebody might have driven him. You're right. Because I don't know where, and the race in particular they're doing I think it's like near Nice is where the race took place. And
I don't want him near my Nice.
That happened up into the mountains. So his big ass got up onto that climb and was like, "Oh, fuck this!"
Oh, there's hills, mate.
Dad, come and get me.
No son of mine's gonna be left on the hill.
Not gonna finish this race. I'll get you there, boy.
Oh man. Well, that was a bad fight for Tommy Fury to pick getting into that triathlon. You know what else was a bad fight? Dude, I know you love these. So I put one in. When I found out it was going to be just you and me, I put this story in just for you and me. Number 6 in the non-MMA. Little guy in a street fight messing with a much bigger dude in a street fight who does not immediately want to fight, and therefore weakness is suspected where there is none.
Oh, I love this kind of stuff.
Okay, shirt's off already. And a chest tattoo. So you know what you're getting into with this guy, right? White shirt out of nowhere, single leg,
high crotch,
her team would be yelling at him for back of the head.
Street justice. Hey, back of the head is totally legal when you're on a street corner near traffic cone.
Oh, back for more.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, and then camera in the face to add insult to injury. Camera in the face, and you're shirtless, and you probably got a bad tattoo, and you're probably drunk.
You're going to jail.
And now you're
The police watched it. The police saw you instigate this fight not once but twice,
and then get flatlined.
You see, like I love white shirt in there, right? Like he's like, I'm with 2 ladies. I'm making it clear, like I've created space with the guy. I'm getting the ladies out of harm's way. This dude's still chasing after. They're now around the corner, and I'm free to attack this guy.
I do love a little street justice like that. I appreciate you adding that in. That is good, man. I've been the guy to lay out some street justice over the years in my younger days and my more rambunctious days of guys think, because I was a lightweight. That was a big lightweight, but I'm not a massive guy. I'm not 6'3". I'm not 200 and some pounds. And people used to think that I was going to be a pushover, and find out the wrong way.
Yeah, I could imagine some football players being like, "Yeah, I do real sports," and being like,
"Yeah, it was a hockey guy
that don't work in a street fight
that thought he was going to fuck me up." And
what are you, a triathlete?
Yeah, what do you run? What are you gay? Come here. That's actually how that fight started. I think I've told this on the podcast before, where we're at the party at UArts, and the guy was calling everybody homosexual slurs because there was a lot of that. There was dancers, there was actors, there was all kinds of people, and he was with some girl that I had dated for a while. Probably knew that we had dated and was not happy about it and saying all kinds of nasty stuff, and his nose got rearranged pretty good.
Yeah. Is that the only question I had about that video that we just watched was the head kick at the end. Yeah. Is that too far? Like
super necessary.
Super necessary?
I think it's not technically necessary. No, but I think when you're on the street and a guy's starting shit like that, and who knows how crazy he was. We see a clip of that, right? You don't know how long that may have been going on, where he's pestering him and trying to fight him and doing all that kind of shit. How drunk the other guy was.
Start and the video cut. There was at least 2 incidences of this guy coming at him,
just trying to start. Yeah. So this guy was like, "Listen, you're not getting back up to even try to keep coming at me."
Third time that dude was fucking with him, because they definitely didn't film the first one. You know.
It probably started in somewhere. They're probably in somewhere when that all went down.
I'm gonna guess they were both wearing shirts when this started.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Maybe not. Look, guy with no shirt looks like he might be the guy just kind of walks around with no shirt.
Might have
depending on where
left the
they're at.
house like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Never been
Rough.
that guy. You know, and I grew up in a neighborhood when I was younger where that happened quite a bit. There was quite a bit of just leaving the house and choosing to not wear a shirt that day in South Philly, where I was from. And yeah, never, you know, I was raised to kind of at least put a t-shirt on.
We're classy in this house, Philip.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. This I thought was super cool. Fighters were asked what their dream fight was going to be for 2026. You know, you can get you're the matchmaker, put together one fight
for yourself, right?
No,
that
not for
they
yourself.
wanted to see
That you just want to see. So
okay.
You know, Islam went the most, you know, white bread answer possible. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira, a fight that is already booked and on the schedule for his dream
on,
fight.
Islam.
What are we doing here? He does not. The man has no time for hypotheticals, dude.
Nope.
Just train.
Yep.
Just train.
Train, eat.
I like this one. Luke Riley versus Kevin Vallejos. I'm not familiar with Luke Riley. Kevin Vallejos is very fun to watch. And then Armand versus back pain.
Yep.
Love that one.
That's a nice dig.
Pereira versus Gane. I feel like that's, you know, that's a very fun fight. Connor versus anyone, says Sean O'Malley. Seems like he just wants Connor back in the fight world so that he too can call him out. And Max Holloway says Jones versus Pereira.
Thank you, Max Holloway, for talking about a fight that I think everyone is kind of wanting to see happen in 2026 on a particular date. And we're getting pushback from Pereira saying it's not happening. But we know there could be some games being played, and hopefully we see something with Pereira. I mean, I don't mind the Gane fight. I don't mind any of that, especially with poor Tom Aspinall and this ongoing eye issue and surgeries now. It went from seemingly doctors saying there was nothing wrong to now needing procedures done. So it is escalated quickly for Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, Rogan was saying that there's with the potential for surgery still being there this far out and his eyes still being that messed up, who knows? You know, I mean, Mike's injury, like it, you know, yes, it stemmed from a fight, but he lost his vision in surgery, you know? So it's like, there's literally no guarantees when it comes to them operating on your eye, and who knows what you're dealing with. And if you are in fact operated on, who knows how long before you are ready to return.
Yeah, because the eyes, a fragile area, right? Once you have something done there, it's not like you're getting back to sparring 2 weeks later. You're not getting hit for a long time.
You know, it's a fight I would really like to see in 2026. And it's maybe possible. Let's just say, hypothetically, Gable Stevenson fights early in the year on a UFC card.
Yeah. I think
by the end of the year, I would like to see Gable Stevenson versus Derek Lewis, because Derek Lewis just stands up and Gable Stevenson keeps everybody down. Well, in his MMA career, he's just been throwing bricks, but it's like unstoppable force versus a movable object. That's like a fight I genuinely would love to see.
You know what's crazy
it's
about
possible before the end of the year,
dude? If he keeps, nobody's going to fight him soon on the regional scene. Do you know what I mean? He's putting guys away so devastatingly, and then with the credentials in wrestling that he has in his back pocket that he's barely even had to use in his fighting career so far, who the fuck on the regional scene goes, yeah, let me go in there and test myself against this guy at heavyweight? Like there's just not guys good enough out there to challenge him. He's going to have to eventually get into a premier organization. I would imagine the UFC is not going to turn down an opportunity to grab a hold of him. Especially he's got a tight relationship with Jones, correct?
Yeah, they were training together. For his thing. I'm pretty sure Jones was in his corner for a fight.
I think so. Yeah, I think that fight where it was dirty boxing.
Hurt him.
Oh yeah, at DBX he was in. Yeah. I mean, look, people are trashing him, being like, "Oh yeah, Gable Stevenson beat up an Uber driver." Look, if you ran a promotion, Paul Felder, would you put one of your better guys in your promotion, a guy who you are counting on to sell tickets long after Gable Stevens has left your company? Would you put one of your better guys in there against him? I certainly wouldn't.
To get killed?
Yeah,
No,
that's nuts.
And you know, the problem with somebody like Gable Stevenson, who's got such an elite level of athleticism and combat sports in wrestling already, you're not going to get anybody that wants to step in there anyway and challenge these guys. Like, it's one thing, you can build your career against more challenging opponents if you're just an MMA fighter, got into the game, is working its way up. But when you have a guy like that, that's an Olympian, a gold medalist in the Olympics, correct?
I don't know if he won gold. I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So it becomes really, really hard. And sometimes it's only those guys that look like an Uber driver that you're going to get that are even freaking willing to step in there.
Yeah, it was the one gold in 2020. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you need a big galoot to go fight. Listen, man, I watched years of Bellator. I know what's up. Like, that's who is available for these type of fights. It's like, you until you're getting to a contender or something, until it's realistically like under the TKO banner, there's just
Nobody's
not
gonna
much upside to fighting that guy.
That's why you got to get him in. You got to get him in early. And then obviously once you get him in the UFC, it's going to be a step up. It's going to be a bigger challenge, but you're still slow. Play him slow with the first couple. If he just smokes them, because we've seen this before where you got Rogan saying that obviously he can be challenged from top 5. He could be top 5 in the heavyweight division right now. I'm not saying I disagree, but we've seen this before with guys. We saw Bo Nickel. Everyone's like, he's going to be the champion.
It's fait accompli. Him versus Hamzat.
It's different, right? It's just a little different. Gable might be a different story, but again, you don't know until they're in there. That's why the first couple fights, don't give him the top 10. Don't do anything crazy. He's only had a few fights. Let him get used to the octagon. Let him get some big wins or get challenged, right? And figure out where he's at before you're like, oh, he's going to be top 5. So we've seen that story play out before and not live up to the hype necessarily. So
I gotta say, again, shout out to my boy Tim, put this in my ear the other day. What about if you're the PFL and you just signed Francis Ngannou to $20 million or whatever gigantic bag they threw at him, started PFL Africa and have done multiple events for him that he has not showed up to one of, would you not try to be like, would you not try to pivot, bring in Gable for that one fight versus somebody like Francis? And it's like, you'd have more eyes than you could possibly imagine on the PFL in this very short window now that you still have Francis Ngannou under contract.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they could, but if I'm Gable, I know, and that's a tough situation because you're going to get offered crazy money for something like that, right? But you got to still think of the long run and where you can go if you don't make that money off the bat. You work your way up to becoming somebody in the UFC, whereas it's not just a one-off. But man, depending on what the offer is,
and regardless,
life-changing money off the bat, and you may not even need to go and have a crazy MMA career after that.
Well,
and if you beat him,
knocked out once by Francis Ngannou,
or go get knocked out by Francis Ngannou, yeah, then your career is over.
Well, but I'd make the argument he's you're talking about a 39-year-old who never had great wrestling, and now he's fought one MMA fight in the last 4 years, something like that.
Damn, he's 39 now.
Francis Ngannou's 39 years old, has fought one MMA fight since January of 2022. So in the last 4 years, he's had one MMA fight, the fight against Cyril Gane. So
he's had a rough go in career, in life, and the whole situation, man. He really, and then he goes into boxing and he has the good fight with Fury, but then he goes and gets put down and out by Joshua. And now he's 39. I didn't realize he's 39. Yeah, a lot of time has gone by where you're just not active, man.
Bro, he was on the older side when he was still in the UFC, and he's been out of the UFC. Now we're entering his 4th year out.
Wow.
So it's like, you go from, you're 35 when you leave, and before you know it, blink of an eye,
You're almost 40.
Right. He rode out the year and then rode out, I think it was another year, like rode out the rest of that year. And then he became a free agent, hemmed and hawed for a while, finally signed the contract in May with the PFL.
We got a perfect transition here because speaking of a blink of an eye, fucking Michael Chandler is still trying to get this fight with Conor McGregor.
There you go. Thank you, Brian. And you're putting in a good case for Segue of the Year.
I will say it's going to be a big year. Number one, like you said, the UFC is now on Paramount Plus the entire year for the next multitude of years. And also, there's a rumor going around. We can't confirm nor deny, but it does sound like I might be handing Conor McGregor a good old-fashioned, passionate red, white, and blue butt whooping on the south lawn of the White House sometime this summer.
I feel so bad for him.
It's becoming comical at this point, right? Where it's like he has been talking about how many years has it been now that he has been waiting?
It's been at least 4 years, right?
That
He's been talking about it since Francis Ngannou's been in the.
And speaking of getting older and being almost 40, Chandler is also 38.
Something like that.
Maybe so is Conor.
No, Conor's a little younger than Chandler.
37.
Right? Damn.
Yeah, Michael Chandler, 39 years old, turns 40 in April.
Which would 40 by the time he would fight Conor.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm 41. And I cannot imagine still doing what I did when I was in my early 30s to mid 30s, the way these guys are right now. It's nuts. Props to them because no effing way. I don't got it anymore.
Well, do you think that's a thing though? Like that's why Chandler is so stuck on this McGregor fight? Because it's like, I'm Michael Chandler, dude. I can't possibly give a shit about fighting Arman Tsarukyan.
Oh,
I refuse to.
100%. At this point, Chandler is thinking, I only want this. Don't give me any more of these Paddy Pimbletts, Ilia Topurias, Arman Tsarukyans. He knows now for sure that you're not fighting for the championship. And I think he may have thought when he first got in, maybe that was something he realistically thought was a possibility when he entered the UFC. But, after
he fought for the title.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, but
it was the vacant title against Oliveira, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and came close.
He did it. He got his title shot. That's way further than most guys get.
Yeah. And
focus
I'm sure
on the money fight.
Making good money. And I'm sure he knows that if he gets that Conor fight, I wonder if he can negotiate more money and fight him because I don't know. Cowboy Cerrone famously talks about that when he got that fight with Conor, his contract was what it was.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
For real?
For real.
Like I remember Eddie Alvarez having like a thing along those lines, and they were like arguing about contracts on the stage, and that was like a big sore spot for Eddie. Was there was no renegotiation for that fight? I didn't know Cowboy just got his regular.
Yeah,
I doubt Cowboy was even getting win bonuses at that
Cowboy
point.
Was
it was
making
just a
good
fat check to show up.
Cowboy had, and I've known Cowboy and been close to them over the years, right? So I know at that point he was under a contract where I forget what he got paid per, but yeah, it was just like he was getting big money and he was allowed to fight like 6 times a year and do something crazy. And, I think he basically negotiated with them like, listen, when you need me, but I want to be making this. And the Conor fight happened. And yeah, I remember we were all like, oh, and hitting him up and being like, oh, you're going to make crazy. No.
But I guess it's also a thing now where Jan from Iowa knows who Cowboy Cerrone is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
and my thing with the Conor fight now is if you're like, oh, I want to fight Conor for this amount of money. It's just, they'll get somebody else. anybody's going to be willing to fight him. Like if it's not Chandler, if he's like, well, I need more money, they'll be like, well, we'll find somebody else. It doesn't have to be you. So the leverage isn't there anymore. You know what I mean? You can't be like, well, I'm fighting Conor. He's this superstar. It's like, yeah, well, he's a superstar, but now it's not for a belt. It's not for some big prestige. It's kind of just a super fight.
And there's no pay-per-view.
There's
no extra money coming in that you can get a piece of.
Yeah. They just be like, all right, we'll get somebody else that'll fight him then.
And there are guys who would fight him.
Of course.
Just mentioned, Sean O'Malley's desperate to get Conor back in the pool because, I mean, I think, and justifiably so, Sean O'Malley thinks he'd have a good shot at beating Conor McGregor. Speaking of which, did you see O'Malley said this can be his last year?
I didn't see that, but I know he was even unsure if he was going to come back at all.
He said, win or lose, he wants Song Yadong and Petr Yan. Those are the two fights he wants this year. And he said, win or lose after this year, I'm done.
Did he just really get a tattoo on his forehead?
I don't know, man.
Did you see that?
I did see it. I don't.
Fucking who knows?
But I looked it up. I looked because he tagged the company and it's his, whatever it is.
It's his company.
I was like, all right, I think it's stupid. But it made me feel a little better about it. If it was just some sponsor, I'm like, you better have gotten paid crazy.
Well, in the post, he said that, you know, when the sponsorship offer is 8 figures. And it's like,
and
all
it's
right,
your own company?
Man, that looks like he's getting a fucking tattoo.
It does look like it. But also, he has so many tattoos. I guarantee he's got a tattoo buddy who could put, you know, who would be willing to do that without the needle in, you know? I mean, that's what a way to skirt the UFC sponsorship.
Yeah. What if I get it tattooed on my face?
Yeah, dude. Oh, I'll do a Condom Depot on my left shoulder for $500,000. Why not?
But what's the price for you to do it on your forehead?
I mean, look, man.
What's the price? Let me ask you, like, dead serious. You're doing another boxing match, right? Some company says, hey, Mike, we want to pay you, but we want it on the forehead. What's your price?
I mean, does it have to be big fat letters like that?
Yes, it's got to be exactly like O'Malley's.
It's not real.
I mean, 10, dude. The 10 million, I think I'm set. I mean, who knows with hyperinflation, man? I think, listen, I think I would say I would do it for 25, but I would settle for 10.
Oh, yeah. 10? I might do it too for 10.
10 million? You could just wear a hat, dog. You good?
Yeah, I'm kind of be hard to be a commentator though, so I might have to really think about investing my money correctly.
Go to the working man shop, man. You're good.
Yeah, my wife would love it. She'd love it.
They do. I wonder actually what
Uber Eats. That's the sponsor.
Dude, that Bradley Cooper thing. Sports is just about food.
Yeah.
Dude, because they I know this because I found out it's a good way to cover up hickeys. I found this out as a young man. They make like tattoo concealer makeup, so you can cover it up. So it's like maybe that's the deal. You just got to spend an extra 3 hours in the makeup chair before every single desk appearance.
I've had to have tattoos covered for acting jobs over the years when I was younger. And it's a pain in the ass. It takes a while. There's like layers that they have to do of it. But this is back in, 2006, 2008. So I'm sure the makeup for covering tattoos has gotten a lot better in the years since.
They don't have to cover anything up when you do hacks?
No, because I was playing an MMA fighter in that. So
okay, that makes sense.
The stuff I'm talking about was when I had to do a play where the guy definitely would not have had the silly tattoos.
Yeah, the play takes place in 1842.
You
can't have color
off. It's like, hey, what's that tribal dragon and Chinese symbol on your chest, you idiot? I'm ahead of my times, guys. I'm ahead of my time.
I had a guy do this with a chisel.
Yeah.
No way.
Playing some 18th century priest or something like that. It's like seems strange.
That is odd. I didn't get a dream fight for 2026 out of you.
All right, let's see. Well, I mean, I agree. So I won't do the same thing as the Jones and Pereira fight because obviously He already said that one.
I think that's everybody. Yeah, I mean, that's a fight that, especially if Tom Aspinall's not going to be fighting anytime soon, I don't see why anyone has an issue with that fight.
Yeah, no. I mean, I want to see Ilia and Paddy fight each other. They hate each other so much that is a fight that I would like to see in 2026. Or no, that's the fight.
That's it. I mean, as far as like that weight class, I don't think there is anything better at the lower weight classes. I mean, that idea of Volk stepping up to face Paddy, Volk, finally after his third attempt becomes the champ and guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer, talked about among the likes of the DCs and the Nunez's and like that's where he belongs for sure in my mind for the level of dominance he's had in this sport for over a decade now.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only one I could think of maybe that would top that. I had it here. I want to see Usman. I want to see Usman fight literally any of these guys in the top 7.
Any
I think
contender.
That's it. Anyone.
Any contender.
Like, there's just Bilal. There's so much drama there.
I love that fight. I would also love to see Usman versus somebody like my boy Sean Brady. I think that's a great fight.
That's an incredible fight.
Sean. And he has decided to stay. He's like 99%. He's staying at welterweight. He's not making the drop.
You guys talked him out of that?
Didn't talk to him out. I talked to him about what he would need to do and what I thought. And obviously he's got an amazing group of guys around him and is super dialed in on nutrition and all that. And he went and had the DEXA scan, figured out how much fat he is, how much muscle, and he would really have to drastically lose some muscle mass in order to be able to make that in any way healthy at all. I mean, he is just so muscled up. His back alone is so big for him. It's not just about dieting and doing extra cardio for Sean. Like, he'd probably get down to 178 pounds. And then, dude, you got to get all the way down to 55. You'd have to be walking around at like 180, 185 pounds all the time. And I just don't see that happening for him. So I'm kind of glad that he's made the stance to stay at 170 pounds. He also talked about how he watched the fight back. He was having a rough week that week. He didn't make any excuses publicly about it or anything like that. But it's a fight that on, another night, he gets in, he gets a leg, and it's a different story. He got caught by a guy that's got monster power. He's a huge welterweight, and he's his true star at 170. It's like, it's going to happen when you're fighting the top guys.
And it's also like, I don't think you get dinged as much being the guy who gave like the next superstar a chance. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that idea of like versus being the guy who takes the ball and runs away with it and is like, I'm not fighting anybody below me. I'm holding out to fight. You know, like
you stepped up. You risked it, right? Knowing that if I go and beat this young guy who's been on a surge in Morales, then I'm guaranteed to be the next in line. And the problem and the unfortunate part of it is that if he did win, I think Islam would have liked that matchup with Sean. Oh yeah.
For sure. I think that he's already talking about he pivoted to the Usman fight immediately because he had no interest in fighting somebody who can spark him like that. I mean, it seems like he's leaning wrestler. That's who he wants to fight at 170. So that does make all the sense in the world. I wanted to see the rematch of Brady versus Bilal. It's like 1-7, 1-5. They're very closely ranked. I think that fight was extremely unexpected, the way that it turned out the first time. And it's like, it's been 5 years now, something like that. 4 years since that fight.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I can't remember the year.
It was the night Islam beat Charles for the title. So that was a while ago now.
I was calling those fights. It was a tough one to watch because obviously I'm close with both guys. So to call that fight was shit. And Sean is, again, that's another one that he would love. He's that he wants Usman. I don't think he would mind fighting Prates or any of these guys. It's just a matter of seeing how things shake out, who's going to get who in the coming months. But I know he's good to go. I know he wants to fight. So I'm going to text him after the show, see if he's heard anything.
One more for the dream fight list. I'm pretty sure it's Imavov versus Hamzat next. We've all pretty much agreed on that, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me it's Dreykus versus Brendan Allen. I think that's
and they've been
fun fight.
And Brendan's been really going after him and talking a lot of shit to try to get that fight. Yeah, oh yeah, he wants that fight. He wants that fight. Seen it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if there's bad blood there from a country boy like Brendan Allen.
Yeah. He wants that fight. I think after his last fight, he was kind of putting some shit out on Twitter, trying to coax him out of being so quiet, because Dreykus has been kind of quiet recently.
Well, I don't know. What are you going to do? You get taken down for 25 minutes on pay-per-view when people have been watching this fight that's been, Hamzat finally getting his title shot, something that's been hyped up for years and years, and it's 25 minutes of one-way traffic. What are you going to say? Yeah,
you go hide out for a little while.
Just hang, dude. It's fine. You're a multi-millionaire. You're extremely attractive.
Yeah.
Go back to South Africa.
Just go chill.
Chill, dog.
Your little wife or girlfriend and do South African things.
Yeah. Hang out with your coach a bunch.
Yeah. Kiss each other on the mouth a little bit.
Yeah, dude. Just really get your head right for 2026. But yeah, I think it's a great fight, dude. Super exciting. Love both those guys. I think both of them bring something super unorthodox to the grappling and the scrambling and all that. Like I think it would be a grapple heavy match that people would actually be excited for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hyped on that. But yeah, I don't know. We've been going for a minute here, Paul.
Yeah.
We have a question.
We do?
Yeah, and also do some plugs so I can pull it up.
All right. Well, if you've made it this far we're probably an hour, 15 minutes of the Michael Bisping podcast with no Michael Bisping, you're into this show.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
You're still here right now. Subscribe it.
You love this show. If you don't see that subscribe button lit up on your screen, go and hit that now. Hit the notification bell. Find out whenever a new episode drops. And if you want to send in a question, send it in to bympod@gmail.com.
Hi guys, Tom here. Big fan of the show and long-time listener. So today I've got a fun question for you. Fantasy matchups. So who wins in MMA and how they get it done? So the first one is Prime Fedor versus Prime DC. The second is Prime McGregor versus Prime BJ Penn. And the third one is Harrison versus Brian. Sorry, that's Kayla Harrison versus Brian Ortega. That's all. Thanks so much for your hard work, guys. And yeah, peace.
It's very funny.
Depends on how hard that weight cut was for Ortega
to get down to 35. You think the fight would happen at 35?
No, it would be at 45. But I'm just joking, especially coming off of his weight cut with Aljamain Sterling, and that fight was dicey. He ended up in the hospital the night before the fight. Ortega.
Rough few months for Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Man. Yeah.
Rough.
That's not who you want the next one. You know what I mean? You don't want that to be who she ends up with.
Yo, all right, whatever, man. Whoever she ends up with, I can still probably fuck him up.
Yeah, like I'll kick his ass. No problem. It's fucking Pereira. You're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Just picturing Ortega in the rain. Come on.
Yeah. What was the first matchup?
Fedor DC.
Prime Fedor.
DC.
Prime DC. DC, not close.
So. It's not close. It's not close. McGregor and BJ Penn in their prime.
That's a fun fight.
That's interesting.
You think BJ Penn gets a leg?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to say BJ Penn in that one, like both in their primes, but two different generations of fights. So it's tough. It's tough. But I'm going to go with BJ Penn before the craziness took over.
No, actually, I would say Conor McGregor would probably catch him. Like Conor McGregor at 135, like the smallest he was. Like he was 145. He was the best. He was the best we've ever seen. Like those highlights of Conor McGregor, that shit is movie shit, video game shit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't happen. He was so good.
Here's my argument to why I think maybe BJ Penn, right? I think of the Nate Diaz fight and the dog that Nate has and wearing those shots and not going down from those shots and being able to just start to rally from behind. I think that's why.
Magic touch McGregor, I think.
So, I mean, all right. The tough part when you talk about prime, because I think BJ Penn's prime was at 155. I think Conor McGregor's prime
was 145.
145.
Yeah, definitely 145.
So it's like, are we doing a catch weight at 150 with both of these guys?
I think if you're talking about both guys have fought a significant portion of their career at lightweight, I think we're assuming this fight is at lightweight.
Well, then in that case, I have to give it. Like, I don't think Conor's power translates nearly as well at 155 as it. I mean, 145, absolute touch of death. 155 has he knocked out anybody except for Eddie Alvarez?
Cowboy?
That was 170.
Yeah, that was 170.
Oh yeah. I mean, but that just makes the case. You know what I mean? The power probably does translate a little bit, and that's not too big of a jump. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I think if the fight's taking place at 155, I can't give that to Conor McGregor. I just don't think he's done enough the guy's got one win ever at lightweight, right? Or not one win ever, but one win in the UFC at lightweight, right?
Yeah, because then most of the other ones were with Poirier, right?
Yeah, Poirier, he got knocked out twice.
Yeah.
Those were both at 155, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he beat him at 145.
I can't. I couldn't take Conor McGregor in that, especially given the immense gap in skill when it comes to wrestling, and the fact that, like, when BJ was in his prime, no one was knocking BJ out. Like, when he was losing, it was like majority decision, like getting to the bell. I think if BJ can get Conor to the bell, BJ was done enough on points to get the win there.
I think if BJ had gotten knocked out more, he probably would be doing better today. You know?
Okay, that's a good argument.
Yeah.
If knockouts were easier to come by.
Mm-hmm.
Less damage. And then the final one, Kayla Harrison versus Brian Ortega.
Come on.
T-City with a triangle, right?
Absolutely. Come on, what are we doing? If we're serious about it.
I'm not going to put another burden on poor Ortega. He gets that one done.
Listen, I think Kayla Harrison would be able to judo throw him, take him down. Like, if that's her only objective, I think she could find a way to get him to the ground. But once we're there, Brian Ortega's slapping on that triangle.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Or hurting her before it even gets there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a man. He could just maul her on the feet, but
he's going to knock her out.
Yeah. I like to think of Brian Ortega as a gentleman who would like to just gently choke her out near his crotch.
Yeah.
I got nothing else, man.
I think right on that is a good way to end this week's episode of the Believe You Me podcast. Sorry that our leader was not here, guys. But again, like Harrington said, if you got to this point, you're a true believer.
January 31st, Armor Combat, the Tropicana in Atlantic City. Get tickets at thearmorleague.com.